All right, let's dive right in. We're going to talk about manifestation, but probably not in the way you've heard before. We're going to get into why just thinking positive or slopping some pictures on a board, well, why it so often just doesn't seem to work. And more importantly, we're going to uncover a much more powerful blueprint.
I mean, this is the big question, right? It's so frustrating. You see it happening for other people, you might even get a little taste of success here and there, but you just can't seem to make it stick. You feel like you're following all the rules, but your reality isn't changing. Well, that's exactly what we're going to get to the bottom of today.
So let's just get this out of the way. The biggest myth is that manifestation is just wishful thinking. It's not. The truth is way more specific and, honestly, way more powerful. It's not about wishing for things, it's about intentionally designing them using what we're calling the Neuro-Quantum Blueprint. It's a real process that involves your brain and your energy working together.
And this is why so many people get frustrated with popular ideas like The Secret. It's not that it's totally wrong, it just feels like something's missing. Think of it like a car engine, but it's missing 3 absolutely critical gears. It looks like it should work, but it's not actually going to take you anywhere. So right now, we're going to install those 3 missing gears.
Okay, let's get into our first missing gear. It's a concept called identity collapse. And don't worry, it sounds way more dramatic than it is. This isn't about losing yourself. It's actually about collapsing the distance, the time, between the person you are right now and the person you're ready to become.
Now, to really get this, we have to borrow a wild idea from quantum physics called the observer effect. Stay with me here. Basically, it says that at the tiniest level, things exist in a cloud of all possibilities, until we look at them, until we observe them. So your dream job, that relationship, that healthy body, you don't have to create it from nothing. It already exists as a potential. Your job is to observe that specific reality into being.
And that brings us to the biggest mistake almost everyone makes. It's so counterintuitive. The second you think, I really want that, you are sending out a giant energetic signal of, I don't have that. You're focusing on the lack of it, the absence of it. You're observing the reality of not having it, which means the universe can only give you, well, more of not having it.
So the whole game is to shift your identity. The technique for this is called I am scripting. You write and you speak about your goals as if they are already done. They're in the past. Look at this example. It's not, I hope success comes. It's, I am so grateful for how easily success flowed to me this month. See that? It's a thank you for something that's already happened. This is how you start observing the right reality.
Okay, you could be doing all that identity work perfectly, but there's another piece. Secret number 2 is the Amygdala Hack. Because even when your mind is on board, your own biology, your own brain, might be fighting you every step of the way. This is about getting your brain to play for the same team. So here's the deal. Your brain has one main job, keep you safe. And it does that by loving what's familiar. So you have this little part of your brain, the amygdala. It's your internal alarm system. When it sees a big, new, unfamiliar goal, like quadrupling your income, it doesn't see excitement. It sees danger, and it hits the panic button, flooding you with stress and doubt. This creates this invisible wall of resistance that just pushes away everything you're trying to attract.
So how in the world do you get around your own bodyguard? You prove to it that change isn't scary. You do that with something called the micro-manifesting drill. It is so simple. First, you choose a tiny, insignificant target, something you have no emotional attachment to, like seeing a blue feather. Then, you just notice it when it shows up. And finally, this is key, you acknowledge it. You literally say to your brain, see, I did that and we're totally safe. You are retraining your brain bit by bit to see this whole process as normal.
And that brings us to our third and final secret, which is, honestly, the fuel for this entire engine. It's called emotional anchoring. If you miss this piece, nothing else works.
This chart makes it super clear. Your thought, that's the what. It's the picture of what you want. Think of it like an electrical signal. But your emotion, that's the magnetic charge. It's the pull. It's what actually draws the thing to you. You need both. A thought without emotion is just a signal with no power behind it. This is everything right here. The universe doesn't care about the words you're saying or the pictures in your head. It responds to your energetic frequency, which is just a fancy word for your feelings. You can visualize a new car all day, but if you feel stressed and worried while you're doing it, the universe isn't getting the signal for car. It's getting the signal for stress and worry, and it's going to send you more things to feel stressed and worried about. So here's the hack. You generate the feeling first.
It's called the elevated emotion technique. Before you even start thinking about your goal, just stop and feel something amazing. Think about someone you love, a beautiful sunset, your pet, anything that brings up a genuine feeling of gratitude or joy. Feel that warmth in your chest. And then, once you're in that elevated state, you bring in the image of your goal. You are literally tagging your future with a high-frequency emotion you're feeling right now. Okay, so we've got the 3 secrets, we've installed the missing gears, but how do we put it all together and actually use it? That's where this 40-day blueprint comes in.
Now, why 40 days? Because real change isn't a one-and-done deal. It takes about that long to prune away old ways of thinking and build new neural pathways in your brain. This is about real commitment. It's about rewiring your internal world so deeply that your external world has no other option but to change to match it.
So really, this whole blueprint comes down to making these 3 shifts every single day. First, your identity. You have to live from the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Second, safety. You've got to prove to your brain that this new reality is safe. And third, emotion. You have to anchor your future dream in a powerful feeling that you create today.
When you look at it this way, manifestation stops being this mysterious, magical thing and becomes a skill, a process of intentional design. Your inner world is the blueprint. So the real question isn't whether this works or not. The real question is, now that you have the blueprint, what are you going to build?